6, we be in the mix with that rare candy paint job on the whip. I need food for the kids, money for the rent. Fuck a lockdown, baby, I can't do that shit. And I don't never vote, cause I'm fucking broke. And either way, I know the police ain't gon' leave me alone. On a plane, about to visit Glen Rock. Need crypto, told me I should bring the Glock with me. So I packed up my piece and I'm sliding. Cause we might get caught up in a riot. Middle finger Trump, middle finger Biden. Fuck a left, fuck a right, is you riding? Know you love to see it, dudes rocking. Ain't no politics, baby, we just talking. From the birds to the bricks, we be in the mix with that rare candy paint job on the whip. Who you with?
Mic thing, but
yeah, you sound like you're recording an album in prison, like X-rated.
Mac Dre is keeping the name.
Yeah, just exactly. This is exactly what it sounds like. Young Black Brother, the Mac Dre album, Young Black Brother, is what you sound like right now.
A lot of people have told me that over the years.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is Al Boo Boo. You're like in your studio album era right now. This sounds great.
Yeah.
But anyways, I was so my printer, remember my printer saga from last time? This brother printer. It's a great printer. Yeah. It's a great printer. It does exactly what I asked it to do. It does everything I don't ask it to do. I got an email the other day. It says, "Hey Glenn, let's talk about your year in printing."
It's National Printer Day.
It's National Printer Day, and it's National Document Day.
Yeah.
And it says they tried to Spotify Wrapped me. Everybody's doing Spotify Wrapped now.
I know. I've
like Chipotle Wrapped. We're gonna do everything. We're gonna you ordered.
That makes sense because it's like burrito.
Dude, nobody gets a tortilla at Chipotle anymore. What year are you living in?
I haven't been in years.
Everybody's a burrito bowl person now. Tortillas are evil now. Have you ever noticed that?
It's true.
People act like it's 9,000 calories for a tortilla. It's like, no, I think the double scoop of fucking beans and all that stuff is and all these things like that's gonna. I do have a dream of starting. You could buy for like $5,000 one of those the tortilla presses they use. Mm-hmm.
So because it's impossible to make homemade tortillas, right? Burrito size that are good and thin. Yeah. But you could get one of those and use whatever foot tallow if you're into tallow or avocado oil, and then make your own. And then because I do love burritos, but I hate that it's like aluminum baking soda and fucking like either lard or like vegetable shortening or just bullshit, So anyway, I digress. But
but that's how you channel your ancestors though, is by using lard and vegetable shortening.
But National Printer Day.
National Printer Day. I get that, and then I have the I had to switch my clothes in the laundry machine. We have like those Samsung ones, not to brag, but we have those like Samsung washers that play songs when it's done.
Oh yeah,
dude, it's a whole composition. I'm like, can I just get it like and then the dryer, no song, so I never know when the fucking dryer's done. It's so quiet, but the washing machine sounds like a woman hand washing it. Like it sounds like a woman with a big thing just hand washing it in like a prairie, and then all of a sudden it goes dee doo doo dee doo dee doo 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 doo, and then it goes like in the bridge, and you're like, okay, I'm taking the clothes out now. Like it's like if I'm sleeping through this, it means I'm in a coma. Yeah. So maybe team up with the brother printer and then call the cops because I didn't hear the fucking washing machine because I was wellness check at that point.
Yeah, a lot of appliances. My mom's oven does that, or stove does that. It literally is like,
oh, that would kill me.
It goes like 4 more bars than you think it would. You're like, it's a little chime. You're like, okay, but then it keeps going, and you're just. It's like a sitcom. You're like waiting around for it. All right.
Yeah. And as we wind on down the road, it's like, oh wait, okay, hold on, relax. Yeah,
it's got the John Paul Jones like organ intro.
Stairway. The first part of Stairway would be sick on a like in that ding 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 like that like Zelda ass like harp sound techno.
With my father-in-law, I watched the first 3/4 of the Netflix Zeppelin doc. It's pretty fucking sick, dude.
I saw it in theaters. It's
good.
You
did?
Yeah, it's where it goes up to just the first album. Basically. Yeah. It's really good. Yeah, it's
hilarious. It's funny that Bonham's wife. I know we're getting off track here. It's funny that Bonham's wife was like, "Watch out for Robert Plant," and it's like John Bonham is drinking like 4 bottles of vodka a night, and and she's like, oh, that plant's bad news, you know, and it's literally like John Bonham.
Dude, it's funny how fat he got at the end of Zeppelin, because another documentary I think is really good. If anybody who has it on Apple, I saw it on Apple. It's called Squaring the Circle, and it's about the dudes. What is that fucking? Now I can't. Starts with an H. Hypnosis. The guys who did all those covers in the 70s, the album covers. They did, their most famous one, probably Dark Side of the Moon, but they did Presence, which is my dad's like all time. Back when my dad had social media, he had Presence, the Zeppelin Presence album cover, because he's got to be a real Zeppelin fan. You can't just have like 4 Led Zeppelin 4 as your Abbey. Like, you'd be such a loser if you did that. But he had
funny, man. Sorry, it's 4 is like, obviously for years every Zeppelin fan goes, all the popular songs on 4 are obviously a little played out, but then Stairway has this kind of thing where you're like, actually Stairway is cool, but then the non-hits on 4 are fucking incredible. Just as an aside, like 4 Sticks.
Side note, they're probably maybe the best band ever. So it's just kind of how, where I end up there. Like it's I mean, top 3, if not, and they're probably not 3, but it's just kind of. But yeah, that album, about the making of those album covers and how like they started in like one of their first ones is Saucerful of Secrets, Pink Floyd, like the like old Syd Barrett Pink Floyd. Like they were just like how they made those before like you had like access to like real anime, and this was back when like album covers were like, it needs to be the 4 of you on the cover. Like that's what an album cover is, because I want to see the band. And like what was the one with the cow, the Pink Floyd one with the cow? What's that called? The big
Adam Hartmother? Is that one?
Maybe. Yeah, but they did that one, and the studio execs are like, no, are you kidding me? And then of course
Adam
like
Hartmother.
They're just like they started that whole thing of like, what if we just put a farm animal? We're sick of traditional album covers, but it all looks fantastic. 10cc. This is a great. I mean, if you love that era of rock, this is like, it's the one. They did the Peter Gabriel album covers, the 1, 2, and 3, which are fucking all time though. In the car with the rain coming off the. Oh my goodness. So, and then the other one where he's tearing the paper and stuff like that. Oh gosh. So that's a great one too. But I really want to talk about the Substation. This is our hometown, dude. This is like kind of our hometown in a way.
Great America, dude.
Great America. So the Super Bowl weekend's this weekend. I know a lot of you guys don't like sports, but I don't hold that against you. I do.
Super Bowl's not a sport. Super Bowl's beyond sport. It's like,
Bad Bunny. We're getting Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. Everyone can eat food and hang out. Like my wife loves Super Bowl. She doesn't care about football.
Bad Bunny, you cannot perform. There's a Substation.
Substation.
You cannot perform. There's a Substation. Substation.
Bad Bunny's like, I need a Dom station.
Electricidad. There's like he's performing like in a dress for trans rights. I think, I have no idea, but it makes me think of football. For sure, way more than Hank Williams Jr. Are you ready for some football Monday night? That's a terrible song. Bad Bunny all day, of course. But apparently, and this has been happening for a while, and now it's funny. A lot of people were sending it to me and they're like, can you believe this? And I was like, I hate that fucking team, so I don't want to give them excuses. That was when I first heard it. I was when it was the 49ers, and people, you're from there. It's a workplace thing. I'm a Raider fan growing up. You hate the Niners. It's vice versa. It's just a workplace rivalry. It's just
you're an Oakland fan, school. Like literally 75% of your schoolmates are San Francisco fans, Giants, Niners, and you're like, you're almost like an outcast in certain parts of the Bay.
Absolutely,
being like a fucking Raiders,
especially when you're white. Let's be real. Especially when you're white.
Because they're doing the like, oh, you're Mexican.
Yeah, cool. They don't do it anymore because the NFL's kind of like woke. But like back in the day, they used to be like, that's like the ghetto parolee Mexican team, like the Raiders, which it was.
Also, it was, and I feel like I feel like Mexicans have really adopted the Niners more lately,
especially ones from northern aspects. Yeah.
No, and
Woody.
But even like I remember being pissed. It's like even when the A's were raw as fuck in the early 2000s, people were like A's.
Exactly.
Dude,
right.
Like, we actually had won championships at that point, and
we have,
you know what I mean.
Buried bonds, though.
Yeah, I know.
So anyways, like when the Substation thing came out, yes, it was very RC coded. It was like a softball to us, but I had the bat on my shoulder. I was like, I don't want to give this team any fucking excuses. But what is being said right now is the 49ers team. They have a lot of injuries. They're a very good team. Built pretty well. Great coach. They almost have won the Super Bowl a couple times, have choked twice to the Chiefs, but that's neither here nor there. The Substation, it's the Levi Stadium, which they moved into, I want to say around like 2018 or something like that. I can't remember when they moved in there, 2017, 2018, something like that. They moved in there, and I used to live, relatively close to there. Not close enough, but like there was a running trail that would go through there. It was kind of the part of the Stevens Creek Trail you could run through, and where I would run, it would be 5 miles or 2.5 miles out, 2.5 back, and you would turn around at the stadium. It was kind of fun. They have a lot of injuries, and there's just been some talk, and I think one guy went onto like Rogan or something. I don't know if he said it on Rogan or not, but the guy who was doing a lot of this research had been making the rounds, and he was like, yeah, I mean, it seems like if you build your stadium right next to a massive substation, it might weaken players, both physically, mentally. I mean, they had a wide receiver go insane this year, Brandon Ayuk.
George Kittle just cries on the
George Kittle just cries. He likes pro wrestling. He likes pro wrestling. There's just all of this all of this crazy stuff that's happening. But there's a lot of Achilles injuries. A lot of guys will sign there and all of a sudden become super injury prone, soft tissue, stuffed up to the ACLs and all of that. And their practice facility, I believe, is over there, and their team facility. Now, they used to, back in the day, always practice in Santa Clara. Back in the day, training camp. They used to always practice out there, but I think it was at a kind of a different site. But I don't know the exact science behind this. Again, it's a little over my head. All I know is that if you're right next to a substation, it's pretty. I mean, you look at trees that go around there. Trees don't grow the same way. There used to be the Tommy Boy, the movie Tommy Boy. They said, "Did you grow up under power lines as a kid?"
Yeah, ley lines. That's a real thing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's like there was always this kind of like lead-based paint kind of thing. Like, that probably was a bad idea. For a lot of these things. So I think there's something to it, but of course, the average NFL fan is extreme Redditor now. Just the whole Wojak with like the chess piece meme, like, every single time. And the Niners running back, Christian McCaffrey, based as hell. I love Christian McCaffrey. He's a Stanford guy. Like, he's just absolute beast. His Achilles turned into like Funyuns over the last few years, like just straight up like dissolved. Like,
remember when he had both? He had
to go to both of them. Yeah, and he had to go to Germany to get some kind of treatment. And everybody was like, he's a Nazi. He's going to Germany to get German science. Just because he looks like he's like a clean cut white guy too, and he's not a libtard. Yeah, he's not a libtard. I mean, he does look like what Hitler had in mind. I'm not gonna lie. You look at him, you're like, oh, okay. But also McCaffrey. I don't think Hitler had that last name involved in that. I think he was Christian Gehring would be a better.
He's broad as fuck, just as a player too. I mean, the King. He's like, one thing I always noticed about his game is Purdy will make some gay throw to him because he's like a better reciever, honestly. And he'll make like a center fielder's catch. He'll literally back up and do like
revolutionized.
He'll do he'll catch like a fucking. He'll have to back up and do a back.
And now that his Achilles are, even though he's recovered from it, I don't know how much he's going to get back in terms of that straight line speed. But he, for a long time, has been a based RC coded man. Right, with this, he's been really so people were so Christian McCaffrey quoted today for underdog.
You kind of have to be, if you're like white in the NFL, you have to be like on your game to let, you know what I mean? To be, if you're like a skill player position,
running back,
yeah, exactly.
Christian McCaffrey on the electrical substation theory. And he says, when it comes to EMFs and 5G and phones and blue light and Wi-Fi, it's not nothing. So he was not saying, yes, I mean, he was probably being a little, reserved there in terms of what he actually believes. I would imagine if you and I got to talk to him, he would probably open up on some crazy stuff, and I'm sorry, dude, this guy's job is to like be healthy.
Yeah.
It's their job. Availability is your best ability. But then, Christian McCaffrey went to Stanford. I'm not trying to hate on anybody's school, but he's not some guy who did like 2 years at Florida State and got drafted or something. Like, it wasn't like this guy actually graduated from Stanford.
Yeah.
And I don't hold that in high regard, but I know every single person who's hating on this loves a Stanford degree and will take any vaccine somebody from Stanford tells them to take. Except, unless it's like, who's the guy?
Yeah, Stanford, the COVID. You literally remember they were like snitching on their own staff during their own professors. They're like, this is a bad guy. He doesn't believe in, they're like, put him on the what is it? The internet censorship committee that was like headquartered at Stanford or something. And it was like literally tied into the White House and the UN or whatever. Yeah, exactly.
So he, in 2016, when he was at school at Stanford University, he submitted as coursework for PH 241. That's a class, I'm guessing. In 2016, he says, during World War II, there was an intense arms race occurring, meaning developments in weaponry were happening by the minute. It is said that the United States developed the first nuclear weapon during the arms race. There are many speculations and conspiracies as to when the creation was actually made. But to our knowledge, it was not until the 1950s where it all started. The project to create the first nuclear weapon was called the Manhattan Project and was created by the United States with the help of the United Kingdom and also Canada. Once created, they needed a space to test it. This space needed to be controlled and far away from anything that could potentially be harmed. I'm sure there was still stuff that you could take out there, but okay, gotcha. Yeah. Because of this, they chose to put it in Area 51, a 368,000 acre sheet of land in Nevada. And then he says, while many might think that their role is to simply test weapons, it actually does more. It actually does much more. According to the United States Department of Energy, the mission of the Area 51 test site is, quote, maintaining nuclear agency response capability, applying environmental restoration techniques to areas affected by nuclear testing, managing low-level and mixed radioactive waste, investigating demilitarization technologies, investigating counter-proliferation technologies, supporting work for other programs and special Department of Defense activities, operating a hazardous materials spills test center, and providing for the commercial development of the site. So like he does all this, and people are just like, this is really a great guy to get scientific info from. And it's like, dude.
Sounds based. Yeah, he's doing Area 51 essays at Stanford.
That's sick, first of all. Yeah. And you know his teacher's like a huge libtard, and he's like, I'm gonna expel him. They're like, dude, he's fucking killing it on our football team. You are not.
No, and just generally speaking, I hate the discourse around football players being bad students. Because I'm sorry, they're not fucking like physics majors, but the average D1 college program is about 10 times more physical and mental strain than taking like a fucking, some like sociology degree or something. You know what I mean? It's like learning a fucking offensive playbook, even if you're just like a receiver or something, is like 10 times harder than the vast majority of what college students do these days. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't know. So I don't give like, I don't know. This is a very like, back wall coded take, but I don't give a fuck about student athletes. Like, just let them play their sport, and like it's honestly the fact that they're doing it is harder than.
I think you should be allowed to major in football.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 100%. You should be like literally, dude. Learning Nick Saban defense at Alabama is 10 times harder than like the exploring queer whiteness of punk subcultures in my sociology class or something.
Right. No, that's tougher.
You got Nick Saban like screaming cover 7 in your ear, he's like, you're crash on the fucking head. You know, you got
outside leverage. What's your responsibility? Like that, and then
I hate mandatory outside release. I hate that shit.
Yeah, exactly. So you just what I mean is like and also who's smarter, Christian McCaffrey or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? I know if I ask I know exactly, because you can ask any of these people that are crying in the replies about Christian McCaffrey not trusting the heckin' science. They think she's smarter than him, and I'll tell you right now, it's not true.
Yeah, I don't get the. First of all, the substation. This is a major. The substation had a huge upgrade, so it's not the same substation as what they were always practicing next to.
Yeah.
So lie number one debunked. It like 10x'd in power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get this like constant need to deny, and I think you said the same thing, to deny that there are any effects from any kind of Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or electricity. I think some are overstated, some are understated. You know, I don't know. I think we're in the Wild West. First of all, we're all using electronic devices every fucking day of our lives, and we just act like that's, you know,
handheld, and we just have to cordless too, like the cordless aspect.
Well, and it's very and it's like my whole thing is like we could probably it's kind of like vaccines, where like you'd think the people promulgating them would also be the most interested in the safety of them. Be like, hey, I'm pro-vaccine, but hey, let's look at adjuvants, and maybe we could do it without metal adjuvants, and maybe we could maybe in 100 years we could have this cause 0 side effects instead of 10% or 1% or whatever, right? But no, it's you have to deny that anything exists. The same thing with Wi-Fi. I'm personally more like the thing I would be most concerned about is just straight up cell signal. Like I think Wi-Fi is like not good for you, but I think it's kind of more benign. But like remember when we used to like produce beats and you'd have the cell phone on top of the studio monitor and it'd go like every 10 minutes and you'd be like, oh shit, that's like holding up to your ear, you know? And it's like, I think the cell is probably the worst one.
I think that's why when there's certain types of people that use speakerphone in public, I think that's what they're trying to avoid.
Yeah, for sure.
To be fair, in my private life, I never put the phone to my ear.
No.
I know. I keep it on I keep it down here. I don't like it either. Like
I try and do under 10 minutes a year of like phone to the ear. Yeah. You know, like literally. I think Bluetooth headset, if you're going to be talking on the phone, is better than cell phone to the ear.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
I'm not saying it's good. I'm saying it's better.
Yeah. If you were to power rank what's best for you, you would have that over.
But yeah, the Redditors just we're still living in a, you know, it's like traveling back in time. It's you're not allowed to have even the slightest skepticism of Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. It's crazy.
I was thinking too, like, you know, I want to talk more about this, but I was thinking too, what if there was like, you know, like a defensive tackle for the Niners who like really wrecked his home life, you know, and like knocked up a Buffalo Wild Wings waitress or something, and his baby mama is going like, you ain't shit, fuck you, da da da. He goes, baby, that was the substation. I wasn't in my right mind. I just woke up in that lady's bed. I just woke up like that. Like, you have to understand what it did to his Achilles. It did to my optic nerve. It did that to my neurological pathways.
Blame it on the subs.
Exactly. It should be Jamie Foxx performing at the Super Bowl. That was just. It was just kind of like, you know, there's these people. I have a big problem with that, where a new invention comes out and there is zero downside to it whatsoever because it's been tested. Okay, sure, maybe I believe it's been tested, but it's like, and we've already determined that in 100 years, for 100 years, nothing bad would happen or anything. And I'm always just like, first off, that's how 2020 happened. That's how 2021 happened. That's how all of the like you don't. And for these people, maybe they don't even come to that conclusion that was bad. So I'm willing to admit that, or that it never happened, or it wasn't that big of a deal. Stop talking about it. But for me, it's kind of like, okay, I've noticed one thing about like Redditor, trust the science people, is they will accept any sort of half-baked expression or kind of explanation for why they can't do something. why they can't complete a simple task, why they can't focus on something, why they can't do it. They'll always accept that, right? They'll always accept like, you can't do this because you have this condition, right?
Okay,
but then when it comes to any sort of like personal accountability thing, like, hey, actually, if you do this, you can bypass this and be a little bit better. They go, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I've always just like, wow, it's kind of funny how almost every time, like maybe 9 out of 10 times, they will always go for the, oh, so that's why I can't do that. So that's why I can't wake up before 7 a.m.
Yeah.
So that's why I can't. That's why I can't digest hot Cheetos.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, gosh. And then you realize, like, okay, I think the people that design Wi-Fi and the people that kind of put this out there into the world, I think a lot of them know that it's not great. But our response to it, that I think is happening behind the scenes in like this Ghostbusters type fashion, is that they're developing like mRNA cancer vaccines and stuff like that. Like, that's actually the response to this, rather than going like, hey, maybe we find a new way to get this internet out there. Maybe 5G is not exactly what we need right now. And you know, maybe just some other way that we can do this. Instead they're like, no. Amp that up and we'll create a shot you can take.
Yeah. And it's very, well, that's a common thing. We're using technology to solve problems that previous technologies created. That's a very common,
right.
It's
a farm, like, you know.
Yeah. And it's like that viral thing where the woman had, like, young woman had cancer and she had the Pfizer shot. And then she's looking at her chemo and she looks at the bag and it's a Pfizer chemo bag. And she's like, what the fuck is, and she wasn't even like a hardcore skeptic.
That's like Philip K. Dick, like Palmer Eldritch. So you just see Palmer Eldritch everywhere. Like, that's
exactly.
crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I was going to say, and my whole thing, not only they reject that anything bad can happen, they're just fucking dorks. They reject that anything bad can happen from the Wi-Fi or the Bluetooth, but they also reject any and all hippie frequency kind of stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
But on the positive side.
You
where
mean,
like they and I look, I'm not like automatically believing that stuff either. You know, there's a lot of wild claims with, like, you know, 528 hertz is like this chakra and stuff like that or whatever.
Right.
But I'm not an automatic disbeliever. So my whole thing is like, did they test different frequencies? You know, like Wi-Fi, all this stuff exists on a frequency, like a radio wave, you know, I'm tuned to 92.6 FM or whatever, right? It's a little bit different, but it's kind of like that. Everything is just receiving and sending signal to participate, whether it's Bluetooth or Wi-Fi or 5G cell service or whatever. And I'm like, did they test, or like, maybe a curious mind would go, maybe there are certain frequencies that are more beneficial to the human. Maybe we could create this web of, you know, internet waves that isn't deleterious to our health, and it might actually be positive. You know, like what that might be possible, but we'll never know if we don't even test it, or if we don't even have that question in the forefront of our minds or in the back of our minds. And I do think I am kind of like a sound healing frequency hippie type of person. Like, I think that stuff is for sure real.
I like the Rife machine. I mean, like, the Rife machine, where, like, if you guys haven't seen The Truth About Cancer, we've covered it a little bit on here, but the kind of like scrambling of the cancer cells through like changing, like, kind of just like when you, I'm not saying that it's 100% like accurate. I like the idea of it. Or I'm like, okay, that seems like something I'd explore, where basically, like, when you don't have your radio tuned to the exact right station and it's, you know, like that, it's like you're doing that to the cancer cells in your body, which people would say, well, what does it do to the rest of your body? Like, you never have that question about chemotherapy. Nobody ever has that question about it, which we know what that does to the rest of your body. It's fucking bad. And, you know, I get it. People get caught in these weird situations where they're like, well, this is what my insurance covers. This is what I do. This is what I have to do. I don't have the money to go to, like, Mexico and do all of this stuff. Like, and I get it. I'm not saying that's what you need to do. I just mean, I hate people that scoff at it because they're scared to be seen as a type of guy. And right now, the type of guy is not even like some weirdo with a tinfoil hat in his basement. The type of guy is like a Republican. Like, that's that's the problem with it.
Yeah, that's what I hate. They are the ones doing it. They bring in. They're so scared. Their allegiance is to being anti I'll put it this way: it's stunning how few openly leftist or liberal people are questioning Wi-Fi, for example, or questioning chemotherapy and stuff. It's been effectively brainwashed into them that that's not allowed, which is I mean, that's just the RC take number one. I feel is that like when did that happen and why and what, you know, it's like I have someone who I love a lot who's like on our side on like the vaccine issue and stuff, and they're like, hey, did you hear that RFK did this and this, and you know, and all this, and we're like, yeah, it's really cool, and they're like, the only thing I hate about it is that it's associated with Trump, and they are ironically they know that it's ridiculous that they're saying that, but they kind of half believe it, you know. And look, I'm pretty critical of a lot of Trump stuff and admin, you know, stuff, but I'm like, man, you just can't.
Yeah, how much do you really like that then? Like,
and then when I say them, I'm like, what's the thing you're celebrating would have never happened in a trillion years under like a Biden administration.
No, they would have gone the exact opposite direction, further suppressed that.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like I'm kind of done with politics or whatever, and I do agree with you that I could never. I mean, I just don't vote in general, so it doesn't matter. But like, I do agree with you, like where you're just kind of done with. You're never going to vote for like a Democrat again.
I just couldn't.
I'm waiting for the time to like, what can any of them ever be like based on health stuff ever again? You know, it's like I'm waiting for the day when they can.
I'd like an arms race on that. Like I would like them to. I'd like them to, so it actually like happens, because I actually genuinely think, regardless that would happen, they won't. They just. And the
other thing is like, dude, in 50 years, people are going to look back on the rhetoric of this time from those guys. And I'm not saying every Bobby Kennedy claim will be proven to be true, but 90% of them, yes. But you know what I mean? But they're going to look back on the rhetoric of like just complete skepticism of anything RFK says or anyone from that camp. It's going to look so fucking retarded. It's going to be the ultimate cringe, you know, of that, like, oh, you like oh, you don't trust chemo. You know, just this all like Reddit chungus thing.
Lobotomies. I mean, like people talk about lobotomies and like all these things. Like that shit was trust the science back then. That's what you did.
No one's gonna believe that it was that you were kicked out of left liberal circles for believing this stuff. No one's gonna believe that in the future. You're gonna have to like bring up like screenshots. And stuff.
It's important to actually archive it too, like really, because that's for that reason, because they do have the ability to kind of retcon stuff, like,
or they're gonna say like, well, he was doing this, but he's also like a fascist, or he did it in like a wrong way or something, or like, or he got this wrong, and we you know what I mean? And it's anything to give. And this is the whole thing. Sorry to get off track. You know, I see a lot of people like, and I've been critical of the ICE situation and everything like that. And you see podcasts, you know, like Andrew Scholl's kind of being like, hey, I didn't vote for this kind of thing, which is, you know, you could argue.
I don't think you have. If you voted for him, you did vote for that.
Oh, I'm saying like whatever you think of the merit of it, he's saying that, right? And then you have people responding to that saying like, you know, you're an idiot. We can never let you, you know, this is exactly what you wanted, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, how dare you backtrack on this? You know, your hands are dirty, all this stuff, right? The people that are saying that are people that would never in a million years admit that, you know, having people show their papers to go to a restaurant was bad. Or like
they say it didn't happen.
Or firing a nurse during COVID was bad because she didn't get the vaccine and stuff. So I'm like, spare me this outrage over this one particular issue. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like
one particular issue that they pretend they're arguing the minutia of, but really they want to abolish the entire thing. You're like, wait, okay. So you're saying you're arguing because everyone brings up the Obama stuff for ICE, right? Like, so you're saying, you know, people will say like, well, Obama had ICE rolling too, like for the most part, you know, like people, and they'll go, yeah, but he did it in a different way. I go, okay, so is that really what you're arguing then?
He also didn't do it in a different way.
Yeah, but right. And also law enforcement complied with him too. So like,
he's on record. He's saying he's like, I want to break. He's like, we're gonna break up families. Like, I don't care. Right. This is the law.
And also the local law enforcement. It wasn't a theatrical. It wasn't like this theatrical thing to say like, no, we're not going to comply with that.
Yeah.
Because it was just seen as it's got to get done kind of thing. And so now what I mean is with all of this, I always go, you pretend to be arguing this nuanced thing about a lot of this, which I think we were doing last episode, but I don't hear anybody doing that. For the most part, it's I hate that any of this happened. And it's like, dude, if you did vote for Trump, it was the number one issue, was immigration.
The nuance is fake.
Yeah.
And it's
like that was the number
shield.
one issue. Yeah. You never hid that was going to happen. Like, so when you say
nuance
you did
is a
it,
shield, it's like an ego shield for them.
Right.
It's like I see what you mean.
Yeah. I know it's okay to argue that nuance. I just feel like nobody actually is, I guess, is what I mean. Like, besides you, me, and a handful of people that, to be honest, collectively wouldn't matter. So it's just kind of like you like if somebody, because like if I was arguing the nuance of that and then somebody said abolish ICE, everybody seems to support that, right? Despite wanting to argue the nuance of all of this. It's like, wait, well then what was it? It's just kind of okay. So but we're off here, and I there's not much more I want to say. I will say the one thing that will wake America up is if Bad Bunny tears his fucking Achilles while wearing a dress during the Super Bowl halftime show. And he goes, "Oh, my Achilles." Yeah. And his like blonde Cisco curly hair is just on the stage, and he's just crying, and they have to cart Bad Bunny off the stage.
The music thing is so funny.
I know.
The Super Bowl the Grammys and the Super Bowl halftime show.
It was a rage bait.
Jay-Z,
it's a rage bait. It's rage bait by Jay-Z. It's rage bait.
Yeah, and it's very, I don't know, man. It's very, ever since, all these are like these weird political the Kendrick thing and the Bad Bunny thing, they're openly, whatever, it's a free country, you're allowed to do it, but it's very I don't know. I think this admin is perfect for those guys, for like liberal elites, because they can kind of cosplay as some crazy revolutionary, despite making like $20 million in one Super Bowl show based on your increased revenue for so you're selling out concerts and stuff, or like the Billie Eilish thing or whatever. It's very
the Grammy thing, which
like where it's very like I don't know. It's nothing ever changes. It's just kind of
No, they were doing this in 2004, but I don't think it had, like, regardless of how you felt about the political climate of there, like this still was all happening. It's just right now I feel like we have a better climate to kind of not have to really let the burn kind of just get out of the control spot a lot. Like we're just like
why can't there be a Grammys dude just go up on stage and say like, yo, like I'm neither here nor there on like the ICE thing, but like we had open borders for 4 years, like and just like leave the stage. That'd be so funny, dude.
It would be funny if you went up there and he was just like, at the end of the day, I think what cures this? Rock and roll.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But like you don't even say any issue. You go, all I'm saying, man, the country is crazy right now.
Yeah.
Rock and roll. And everybody would immediately be like, that's the most right-wing fascist thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like that's what they would say for that. And it's always, it's just really funny. And so like that, before we go on, Super Feast, guys, Super Feast, a promo code RC now at checkout.
For your Super Bowl parties, dude.
For your Super Bowl parties, spike the punch with deer antler. Just do it. Well, maybe not deer antler. Maybe not deer antler. Maybe not deer antlers. Because you might have like family, and stuff. But like
it costs like $57.
Well, 10% off of that.
Yeah,
56.
It's 54.
You would get 10% off of that with promo code RC now at checkout. But if you went, maybe some cordyceps or something like in the punch, everybody else, you could be debaucherous the whole time, and the family would be like, man, I never lost my mind. I know I lost my whole entire checking account betting on Cooper Kupp anytime touchdown, but
the crazy one is
Cooper
Kupp Super Bowl MVP winner. 100-1, dude. That's the crazy one,
right there. Exactly. Which again, if you're on cordyceps and you wouldn't even bet that's stupid. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, guys, promo code RC now at checkout. You can go Rishi, you can go Lion's Mane, you can go Rishi capsules, all sorts of stuff on there. Beautiful packaging. And guess what? It's not discreet packaging like all of the other things that help men out. They're like, I'm scared to let my neighbors know that I'm being helped out for my problems. No, I want the driver to have an air horn when he's dropping it off saying this guy is getting his Super Feast on. Promo code RC now at checkout, 10% off. QR codes on the screen if you're on YouTube there, guys. So anyways, let's talk about those files, those documents.
The documents.
Let's talk about the document. I know I hate that it's in document form. I look at it and I'm like, I don't even like emails. Can I say this right now? I hate emails.
Yeah, emails suck.
I hate like I have family members who just send me emails, and I'm always like, "You have my number, please just text this to me."
Yeah.
Like, and there's no attachment either. And I'm always just like, dude, just I don't know what it is. They love sending emails, and it's fine, whatever. But we're here to talk about the Epstein files, which it's just one of those things where I find myself to be. I think I'm the only Epstein centrist out there,
Yeah.
which sounds weird, right? To anybody who would be a maximalist on, because like, how could you be a centrist on the atrocities that are happening? Well, I don't doubt a lot of stuff is happening at all. I just know I said this on the Good Old Boys episode the last time we had them on, which I forget how long ago. It was a while ago. We had them on, and we were talking about Epstein, and this was at the time of the binders and all of that stuff. And I basically said, if I'm a maximalist on Epstein, I'm not trusting any of these emails, anything that's released in that form. I'm just not going to trust these things. Like, it's one of those things where it catches you in this thing where you're like, it has to be done on a grassroots level, despite it not being a grassroots thing, like it's because I'm sorry, dude, when you have like emails about like Xbox Live and stuff, I'm always like, man, this is so on the nose for like right-wing Twitter and stuff, like the gamers. And then they're like, oh, and I created the alt-right on 4chan and stuff. So I'm like, dude, what is this? Like, what? Come on. These people are emailing this shit about to each other. And maybe they were, but the whole thing is really confusing to me. I also, the reason I say I'm a centrist is I don't like the other side take of like, let's move on. It was just kind of like runaway 17-year-old girls partying with billionaires. I don't like that either, because for one, you don't have to go do that secretly on an island. Like, that's just not why you do this whole thing. Like, that just doesn't work that way. I do think there's some really nefarious stuff going on. I do think it has big time implications, especially in the biosecurity pharma aspect of all of this. I think there's absolutely a lot of that happening. I think it's a blackmail operation. The problem is when people ask me what to do, I don't know. And I don't think a lot of people know either, because everybody I see that has like the Epstein files and like they're super into it, all they're doing is taking their current politics and trying to use that as like a Mario star to put around them. And see, this is why I'm right.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And I'm always
that's
just like, okay, that's not really the utility of these things.
Well, no, and I've seen that on both sides.
Completely both sides. On both sides.
This is an actual both sides thing.
Yeah,
but I will see like like Peter Attia, the doctor, they'll be like, oh my God, this is disgusting. Like, what an evil man. Arguably, maybe so, whatever. Mm-hmm. But then you see their like Noam Chomsky take, and they're like, wow, this is really crazy. I mean, are we believing this? I mean, this is just shocking, right? And the tone changes because he's on their side, and it's very.
Chomsky was there to do anarchism, obviously.
No, and that's what I'm saying. And like, and the Peter Attia thing, for those who don't know, he's like this big deal health doctor guy.
I don't know him. I don't know him very.
He's Huberman. He's not as cool as Huberman in my opinion. I like Huberman way better. I'm not just saying this in retrospect. I never really vibed with Peter Attia.
What about Peter Tortilla?
Yeah, that'd be good.
I don't know why,
but Peter Attia, and who knows what? I think he. Well, I'm getting. I'll spurg on this for a minute.
Yeah, I want to go ahead. Take the reins. Yeah,
I think he probably knew more of what was going on than he's letting on.
Sure.
I don't think again. That's the thing is like does anyone who emailed them, were they like eating 12-year-olds?
Yeah, I know
intestines?
Exactly.
Probably not, but also it's like
probably not.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm sorry. I just probably not.
But the whole thing is like you kind of, I think a lot of people are just, here's a super rich guy, and he's also not a dork. He's not like a Bill Gates billionaire. He's like he's like low-key, like, and I'm not saying this in a cool way or whatever. He's like low-key Chad billionaire. He's like,
gotcha.
He doesn't give a fuck. He's like flying all around. He's emailing. He's like, in low cap, all lowercase and stuff, and which is like that kind of thing. I think people are I think like an Attia guy who's clearly like anyone. First of all, any of these guys who are like at that level of like podcastosphere of being hired by CBS, by Barry Weiss or whatever, and just at that sphere, there's a certain level of like power hungriness that I don't think either of us, I don't think will ever.
No. To me, it's drinks with friends. It's drinks with friends. If Epstein
Yeah,
invited me, I said, I'd be like, "What are you, a libtard? I'm not doing drinks with friends."
And even a guy like Rogan, who's obviously hyper popular, he never struck me as like a striver. You know what I mean? He never struck me.
No,
you know,
not
as much as these guys. You know, where he's just kind of like obviously he's like impressed by it. He's like, "Whoa, Elon is so cool," or whatever. You know, obviously
that's how it starts.
But he's just more of, I think that's part of his popularity.
Big time STEM nerd thing. STEM nerds got one-shotted by.
So that's what I'm saying.
Hanging with Epstein.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is like, I think as a man, you never want to put another man on a pedestal too much, because that just makes you kind of gay. So if you're soy facing over like, oh, I get to chill with this guy, he's got an island and he's flying me out and he's got billions of dollars and stuff, and you're like soy facing and you're like, you know, like, oh my god, I have Jeffrey Epstein withdrawal, you know, and stuff. You're like, that's gay. Like, even if he's not,
that's really gay.
Even if he's not, even if he's
Jeffrey Epstein withdrawal. Was that in the emails?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was like joking, you know, and and trying to be like, so you're clearly trying to, you know what I mean? And it's like, I just think that's very gay.
That's like
and
sleeping
like,
with your ass cheeks hanging out of like your bed.
And it's very like, I don't know. You'll never like, there's some like people that I really respect that I'm like, if I met them, I'd be like, whoa, this is tight or whatever. But also never meet your heroes. And you know, I would never.
I'm having Max Crosby withdrawal.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I mean, if Max Crosby drove me around in his Cybertruck, I'd be like, yo, like can I get some tickets to?
I'd be like, hit me up sometime, but I'm not going to text you that I miss you.
Exactly,
you weirdo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, so there's that, and obviously, I mean, the dude, and he wrote, I think he literally wrote about this in his book. He left out the Epstein part, but his first son was born, and then a couple months later had to go to the ICU for like a week. His son almost died.
Damn.
And his newborn, his new mother, his wife, the new mother, was like begging him to like, please come to the hospital. We're all alone here. And he's like, I got really important business work. And the business work was like chilling with Epstein. And it's like, dude, it's like, okay, you're clearly like, that's like, and he's kind of, he said in his book, he like really regrets it. It's like the deepest regret of his life. But it's like, man, like we all have regrets in life, and we've all done bad things in life, you know, that we're ashamed of. But like, man, leaving your wife and newborn son out to dry while you're partying with Epstein in New York City, like that's pretty fucked up. Like, regardless of any illegal activity. Now that the Chomsky thing, Chomsky wrote like a 3-page essay on why Jeffrey Epstein is like innocent in 2018. It's like crazy. And it's just like, bro, what are we doing? So yeah, I do agree with you. I do think a lot, maybe this stuff is curated. How can we even trust it? Who knows? I'm not, clearly the reason it's such a hotbed issue is because can be used by a political cudgel on both sides. Everyone, and I 100% think, I disagree with a lot of base people on this. I 100% think that the Trump administration botched this, and it does matter more than
without question.
It does matter more than they say it does.
That's objectively true. Yeah,
but the thing is, everyone clowning on the Trump's in the files, blah blah blah, Trump's in the files. They all voted for Bill Clinton. And they all voted for Hillary. You know what I mean? It's just
Bill Clinton's easy to cast off now, though. Like for them, it's pretty easy for them to cast off. And then you could have Hillary, which they could cast off Hillary, white woman. You know what I'm saying? Like you can easily do that as well to like a current Democrat, because they'll say like, well, Hillary, I mean, look what she had to deal with Bill. Like that can be crafted into some narrative. And to me, like I'm gonna go out and say I don't think Trump ate like baby intestines. Like I just don't think that happened. Like I don't have a doubt in my mind that the man got active. You know what I mean? And I'll just say that. But I think there's security level like 10. I think it's Andromeda strain, Kyle, where I think there's people, and I think Gates is like the most accessible of the people that like might have done the like straight up like debaucherous like Pizzagate stuff. Like
that's all. I also wanted to talk about that because there's the Melinda Gates interview that's going around right now, and a lot of people, a lot of base, and including us, sometimes we like to clown on like the billionaire wives that get like the $6 billion inheritance and like just funnel it into the most insane bullshit, you know, whatever, you know, and stuff. I'm gonna say I 100% support Melinda Gates in her divorce against Bill Gates, man. Like I think she
does suck
because for sure, and
she's a big part of that health thing, all that weird health.
100%. No, but what I'm saying is like Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton's evil too,
right?
Melinda Gates, I think I disagree with her on like her worldview and her like what she's about and everything. And I do think she was not down with this stuff, and she's like, "Yo, I'm kind of out. Like, I don't think she's trying to save face. I think she authentically, and I'm saying that as someone who's like legit not a fan of that whole scene.
I mean, the Gates Foundation is evil.
Yeah. Yes, 100%. So again, maybe there is a little fakeness there, but I'm like, yo, I'm glad you got out of that, and I think and that's the other thing is like Bill Gates is. Can we stop putting Bill Gates on CNN now, or are we just going to go after Peter Attia?
He's kind of dipped out a little bit. Like Gates, remember like a few years ago, it was like, yeah, Gates is fucking with us big time. But now I feel like Gates is lukewarm now. Like people are just lukewarm, kind of forgot about Bill Gates. I think like because Elon took over. Elon took that spot, and I don't like Elon. I've said this. I've been that way for a while, but. To me, like Gates is like I think he's the one. Like I think there are some really shadowy, dark cabal type people in the world that I think when you're talking about these big like trafficking operations that have been going on for a long time, like I think there's some people that we just don't know the names of. Like we just don't know I think Gates is like just that, like he's the one of those guys that might be a bridge between the two. Like
and I do think, and I do agree. I do think. A couple things on like the actual supposed crimes that are happening here. I do think for what I was, there are people that there are people kind of trying to like play both sides on this of like, yeah, it was just 16, 17-year-old runaways in Florida. I think that was part of it for sure.
Definitely a part of it.
I do think there were, I also don't condone that. I still think that's not good. Okay, like when it comes to that stuff, and I don't know, first of all, I think there was much darker stuff
exactly
in the files, and the thing is, we got half of them, and they left off the bad half, and I think
that's what I'm saying.
And so
before you go on, this is a book I recommend a lot of people reading for what I think is kind of happening right now. Yes, it's a novel. But it's a speculative historical fiction. I covered it with Brad Kelly on Gain of Fiction, but it's Libra by Don DeLillo, where it's this like kind of got this meta postmodernism to it, where there's a chapter focusing on Oswald's life, Lee Harvey Oswald's life, and then there's another chapter focusing on like the people kind of putting the cadre together and kind of getting it ready to the real killers kind of thing, while then it kind of that's happening. And then there's another chapter of this guy named like Nicholas something. I forget what his name is. It's just a fictional character, but his job is in the future, and his job is to rewrite the history.
Damn.
So it's a fucking phenomenal book, masterpiece in my opinion. But it's pretty much. But hey, I'm a Libra. What can I say? Yeah. But his job is to do that, and he's like getting all this info, and he's like, "Fuck, I gotta like rewrite." He goes, "This is kind of crazy," And he's doing this at this time. I kind of think that's what is happening with the Epstein files. Now, that being said, and I want to keep going on to what you're saying. That being said, I'm kind of like, I still kind of get it when people are like, "Let's move on." I kind of get it, because I'm kind of like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, what am I supposed to do? Yeah. Like, I kind of think they've moved on elsewhere to other things now. Like, I don't think they're keeping this same operation going right now as constructed.
I think the people that are against that are, and I understand this side too, are saying this is so extreme that we shouldn't be like paying income tax anymore. Like, what the fuck are we even? These are the people running our lives. Like, what are we even doing? Which I absolutely understand that, fair. But I do agree. Like, I mean, it's not going to change. Sorry, were you?
No. I'm done. You had some more to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, a couple. I guess there's like a couple things on that. Yeah. So yeah, I do think there was much darker stuff, like Pizzagate level stuff, and I do think there is like a spectrum of badness. I know I'm gonna get heat for saying, like, okay, where I think like murdering an 8-year-old and eating her organs is worse than sleeping with a 17-year-old.
I agree.
In terms of the spectrum of crime.
Agree.
I also think that if all Jeffrey Epstein was doing was like prostituting 16, 17-year-olds, that's still really bad. I think it's different. And this is like,
no, I know what you're saying. Here, I know what you're saying.
Where, okay, let's say you're like a dude. Let's say you like get caught up, you're just a regular dude and you get caught up with some like statutory stuff with like a, you know, like a high school girl, like a 17-year-old high school girl, right? That's, I still think that's like not good or honorable.
You have to have better
you shouldn't
judgment
do
than
that.
that.
Sorry, is your mic?
You're saying obviously there is a spectrum to it. It could all be wrong, but there is a spectrum to it.
I'm saying, so if you're like, I do think like if you're, I don't know, it is a crime if you do statutory, you know, rape with a woman or a boy, you know, if you're a female school teacher or whatever, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Not good. Not good. I don't think that's good. Epstein was like legit, had like a cadre of the, you know, it was like on tap, you know, which I think is like a little
like
different.
A harem.
And it's like it's, I don't know. I feel that's like,
obviously, the guy sucks too. He's not fucking cool.
That's
like,
what I'm saying. He's like
he's
like
cool.
a psycho, you know, like you could argue that like doing some like statutory shit is just like retarded, and you're retarded for doing that, and you're and it's, you know, it's like bro, what are you doing? You know, like what kind of choices did you make in your life to do that, right? With Epstein, it's clearly is like a straight up psychopath who's just like, you know, and who's just doing this shit, and like obviously does not value human life, or, you know, doesn't care about human.
And he was trying to do that whole like,
does that make sense? I don't know. I'm not even trying. I'm not trying to. Obviously, I'm not defending any of this shit. You know,
and he was also on that like, I mean, I'm not putting Brian Johnson on this, but this kind of like techno fascism live forever kind of thing that you're seeing now. I mean, you're seeing that he wanted to create like a forever life for him, and and to be able to like reproduce forever. He had all this weird
I've only listened to a few clips, but I kind of like the midwit Jeffrey Epstein philosophy, where he's like, yo man, like materialism sucks, bro. And I'm like, I agree with you, but then why are you Jeffrey Epstein? You know, like very, you know, he's very like, dude, the soul is real, man. And
well, I think the MIT, I think the MIT
12-year-old.
Yeah.
It's just like, he's like, what does that say about your soul, dude? Like, what do you know what I mean? Like,
if it is real, I mean, it could still be real, I guess. Yeah, he just has a bad one. But and I just think he's kind of a spurgy nerd, which I like. People try to like. I get it. It's like the internet's all about pissing somebody off. That's the newest form of like, you know, or not newest form, kind of the oldest trick in the book on the internet. It's like, so people will post like, you know, a picture of him like by a car and like sunglasses, and they'll be like, chat. It's like, no, he's not. The guy sucks. Like the guy. I'm sorry. Like, and you're like, people aren't jealous of him or anything. Like, this is bad. This is a bad thing. Yeah. And if it was like what I was saying at the beginning,
it's
and if
dark.
It was,
it's straight up darkness.
It is. And if and obviously it's not just like a fun hangout thing. It's obviously a blackmail operation. It's obviously got some ties to that one country. I'm sorry. It's also it's just there's enough of that.
That's the funny
thing
about the emails is like they're literally like using goyim unironically and stuff, and being, you know,
that is
like
weird.
But
that's why I think they're fake. That's why I think they're fake.
Okay, yeah. Well, okay. We need if they're fake, we need someone who's in the files to be like, I never sent that. Here's proof of me never sending. You know,
but there's probably a lot of legal. There's probably a lot of lawyers telling them don't say anything.
Yeah, true.
Right now, yeah. I mean,
if there was, I don't disagree with you, but I would like to see some kind of evidence. But I know, and it's funny that there is like it is on the nose. So
it's too much. It's
very
much.
It's very funny.
Buying the Geno Smith jersey. Buying the Geno Smith jersey is crazy.
The Jets, dude. And
it was only $60. Only $60 though.
Well, it was a youth jersey, which also like why was it a youth jersey?
Oh no.
It's like all that it's like, yes, you can.
I hope it's your wigger. I hope you have a wigger son that's not involved in any of this. Yeah. Like
it's like a 12-year-old Jets fan girl. It's just like, please, like just I'll forgive you if you give me a Jets jersey. Which is honestly, hey, like what's the worst?
Well,
like, what's the worst abuse?
I would want DeBrickashaw Ferguson, you know, somebody a Hall of Famer, yeah. But
what about like
maybe Braylon Edwards or something?
Sanchez, dude, Sanchez.
That's true. Yeah, Santana Moss or something.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. Like, but
Keyshawn Johnson,
Lavernius Coles, Wayne Corbett. Yeah, I would go hard with that. But no, I just like I saw this thing where it was like.
Yeah,
it's clearly not nothing. It's clearly, but it's also kind of like, I'm not sure what the answer is. Like, I'm not sure where to go from this. And I kind of like, to me, we have to come. There's two reasons why this is popular right now. For one, because of TDS. Like it feeds into TDS, Trump Deranged System. So that's why it's on major networks right now. It's easy to do that. It's easy to say, and look who was involved. Like that there.
Yeah, because no one talked about it from 2016 to 2020. No,
you weren't allowed to.
Like,
weren't allowed to, but you were definitely seen as you. It was Pizzagate, Epstein. That was just like you weren't supposed to do that. And then also just the idea too is it's the binders, man. Like the binders was so stupid. Like it's just
the White House thing.
Yeah, the White House binder. Like that reignited that flame. Like what are you doing? You know,
that shit was so. I remember at the time I was like, "This is maybe the gayest thing I've ever seen."
I thought it was nothing, but it's
also
it was bad.
All of them, I think, except for Cernovich, who I think was legit embarrassed to be there. He was like, you know, I think, but all the rest of them, all of them are radio silent right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is like, what the fuck's going on, dude? Like, what is happening? You know what I mean? Like, you're telling me you have no comments on this? Obviously, it's compromised. You know, obviously you were told not to say anything, and it's just so, man. It's again, I definitely. There's a lot more positive things to focus on in this world. And,
more pertinent, to be quite honest.
More pertinent,
but it's just kind of sucks though.
And also, I don't like I can be against Jeffrey Epstein, raping and trafficking kids, and I can also be against like some random undocumented citizen doing it in America, in Minnesota, let's say. And I do want them arrested by ICE. And I could be against like some white trailer trash dude doing it too. And none of those are. It's not a political thing.
They should all go to jail.
Those are,
they should all go to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Like that's. But I'm with you like on that. And I, you know, for me, it doesn't change my politics, and I think it's supposed to, right? I think that's what a lot of people. And I'm kind of I dabble in the parapolitical stuff, but sometimes I'm always like, man, am I supposed to just become a communist? Is that what I'm supposed to do? When I hear about this, like, okay, but there's a lot of times where I'm like, look, I think you might be getting at something here. It's just my thing is I don't that doesn't turn me into what you believe. Yeah, that turns me into seeing like, okay, that's evil. I personally don't want any part of that, like myself. Yeah. That being said, if somebody comes out and says, I support the thing that you support, like they're still gonna get my vote. Like that's just still the way the world works. That's still I think that's always frustrating to anybody who thinks they've cracked the code on something. And I'm not meant to dissuade people because, like, you know, okay, here's another way. You ever see people who are like, the government's trying to poison us constantly, and then they're eating McDonald's every day. Yeah, like you're like, there's that cognitive dissonance there. Yeah. I see a lot of people who delve into these things, but they don't improve themselves a lot of times. Now, if this doesn't apply to you, it doesn't apply to you. I'm not trying to take shots at anybody. I just know a lot of people who dive into like deep conspiracy theories, stuff that I'm interested in. But I'm like, hey, while you're doing that, like while you have that podcast going in your ear, you know what I mean, where you're hearing about that, like do something that helps you right in front of you, because it actually will, it kind of thwarts the nihilism that's brewing in you during like, because this is meant, this will straight up give you nihilism, like, and nihilism to the point where you martyr yourself, but a martyr is too strong of a word because that means it changed something.
Yeah, it's like Friedrich Nietzsche. It's like, don't stare into the abyss. This is the abyss. Don't stare.
It might be real. The abyss might be very real. Like 100%. I don't. Yeah, the abyss probably is real a lot of times. I mean, I didn't mean to put those two words together.
Israel.
But, I don't mean to. That's not what I said. But it's.
I'm just like, don't, man. Like, you don't want to, like, and dude, anyone that's, you know, obviously they're like, not talking about like pedo hunters or whatever. That's a whole different. But anyone who is like legit doing things like, hey, I run like an anti-trafficking organization and stuff. You know, I commend you. You know, if you're doing that, you know, obviously. But if you're like, you know, doom scrolling Epstein stuff is not good for your soul. It's
because I know it because I did it back in the day. Yeah, like back in the day, I did it and I was in a bad spot. And you just get to that helpless thing where you're like, the more information I get, the more helpless I feel. And it's a young guy thing for sure. Like, I think I made that joke a long time ago. I was like, when you're 25, like, you for sure are going to like do that as a guy. It just happens. Like when you're 35, you start to accept that there's demon shit in the world, like absolute demonic stuff, unspeakable things that you would never do. Like I'll put it this way, I wouldn't even do to a bug what some of those people are doing to kids.
That's what I'm saying.
Like there's just like you look at that
clearly
and you go, that's evil. The thing is, you have to still operate in the world. Like you have to, because you can't let demonic forces win, because you sacrificing yourself will Anyway.
The only way to make any kind of difference is to shine your light as bright as possible and lift your family up, lift your friends up, and it's very
trusting God. And I think these people want you to be. These people don't want you to believe in God. None of these people there. Bill Gates doesn't want you to believe in God. Jeffrey Epstein doesn't want you to believe in God. All this stuff. Believe in God, man. It should draw you closer to there. And yes, there's problems in churches. There's problems there. I'm just talking about God. Capital G, God.
Yes, yeah, and I do think that I agree. I do think because there is kind of this. I do push back a little bit, and like and I don't know. I kind of agree. You know, the meme of like the Redditor, like, no, I don't follow your religion, but let me tell you how to follow it. You know, kind of thing, right? And I do agree with that. I do think that the examples of that there's a plenty. You know, and it is annoying as shit. I totally get that. On the other hand, sometimes I do see like big time Christians, like let's say like Matt Walsh or something, who's like tweeting the dumbest shit, and I'm like, and I'm not trying to like moral hazard it, you know, I'm not trying to be all like a referee for him or those types of guys or whatever. And I'm like, dude, like, I don't know, man, would Jesus be tweeting that? Like, I don't think so. Not saying you can't have fun and horse around and make some jokes or whatever, but I'm like, I don't know, man. I do think there is something to be said about like, try and be more Christ-like if you're a Christian. Like, I think that's always good advice, right?
Yeah, I mean,
always
the thing is, if I like,
not saying you should hold yourself to the standard of Redditor or someone who hates you. 100% no. But
I think people like Matt. What I mean is, like, if I say Matt Walsh, I could find you a really libtarded hippie that believes in 98% of what you believe in. And I could make you say that's a bad example of your thing. It doesn't waver you or anything.
No, I agree.
Yeah, and I know a lot. There's a lot of Christians that argue with.
It has to be a personal. This is the whole thing. It has to be a personal. You have to decide as a Christian. Like, obviously there are community benefits towards organized religion, especially Christianity. But like, yeah, I can go to the church and I can find people to babysit my kids, and we have cookouts, and we have a network and we have friends and stuff. God has to be deeper than that for you, though. You know, that's kind of what I'm saying. It's
well, like that's supposed to be kindling for and it is. I think it is for a lot of people. It's not so much for me. Like, it just never really has been. I've always felt like a more one-on-one, probably from being an only child, honestly, is kind of this like used to just being like kind of by myself, like, you know, not to clown myself or anything, but just kind of used to doing that. But for a lot of people I know, like my wife really likes it. Like, my wife really likes the communal aspect of church, and it kind of just reignites that
it's great. Yeah.
And then she takes it and does that. And she's not even really that social of a person, but it's just more so kind of hearing the ideas bounce off and kind of absorbing it, and then boom, it's outward. It's just
I just think there are times when you will be tested.
Also, who does Matt Walsh work for? A Christian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. Hey. Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah.
I'm saying it's like,
I think
I wouldn't. Yeah.
I think there are times when you will be tested by God or the universe or whatever. Mm-hmm. Sometimes where the people, sometimes your allies, sometimes your friends, family, sometimes people that are ostensibly Christian. Yeah. Will be against you, and are you going to walk with God, or are you going to cave? That's what I'm saying. Is like, there are nuances, and like, you know, and maybe vaccine is an example of that. COVID vaccine, maybe. You know, I don't know. I'm just thinking off the top.
You have to use free will. I mean, because it is ultimately that is the ultimate form of Christianity,
and you have to
free will,
and not to be like, this is a weird term, but you have to be kind of scientific about it in terms of you have to know what works for you and you know what I mean? You rather than trying to, you have to fit it, you have to make it your own, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that as like that you are God, or that you are, you know, that you're not in some like solipsical way or whatever, right? I'm just saying you have to find the way that does it for you personally, even if you do go to a church, even if you do have a pastor that you love, even if you do, you know, whatever. I just think these are, you know, I don't know. I kind of
any okay. Well, here's my thing. Any
Mm-hmm.
good pastor, and I've gone to a few. I go to a Baptist church here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Any pastor is going to say exactly what you said.
Yeah,
that's what I will say. Any good one. Now they're not all good. I mean, these are all valuable men like that are just not like they're not perfect, and some of them suck. Like I've seen a few that are just like, man, that did nothing for me. They get really redundant. They take one idea and don't really flesh it out, and it's just. But you get a really good one, and he'll be the one that tells you it's like this is just meant to kind of set you on the path. This is not meant to be the end all be all and stuff. So it's just they will. I think
what people like me, like the more spiritual, like I'm spiritual, not religious type, cliche people like myself. And there are plenty of pitfalls in that world too. Don't get me wrong. There are plenty of pitfalls in hippie scenes and in drug scenes and, and all that for sure. But at its core, I think what people say, I'm going to turn inward, and whether that's like a quote unquote Eastern thing, whether that's a meditation thing, I'm going to turn inward and directly commune with God on some level, right? And I know that, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. And again, I think there are pitfalls too. Even if you are the most well-intentioned person, you can fall into traps too. People warn about them. Taoists and Buddhists and yogis warn about them. There are like yogis that have gone insane and stuff. And it's like, I don't know. I just think some people, I don't know, maybe this is to their detriment. Some people are searching for just a little bit more in terms of like the inner experience, maybe it's because they had too many drugs and they know that words don't mean anything in terms, and in terms of like words are important, but they're a signpost for something deeper and stuff. I don't know how we got on that from Epstein to this, but man, it's like it's the nihilism.
It's the nihilist.
It's nihilism, and and all these people again, like Epstein is Jewish or whatever, and there's people in this scene might be quote unquote Christian or whatever, but they're all like spiritually atheist, and they're all spiritually. Yeah. That's why like Epstein. That's why it's so shocking here. And Epstein talk about souls when he's like selling like adrenochrome on a Google Word document or something.
Yeah, it's like I mean, I get when people abstain from it. It's clearly okay. This is the thing it's clearly not going away. It's clearly not like it's gone to the mainstream, and we know why, right? It's a perfect vehicle for TDS now, and like I said, they could kind of discard older Democrat politicians in the mix. I think it maybe seems like a worthy sacrifice, to them and stuff to do that. You see why it's out there, but it's always been out there. You've known about this for a long time. I've known about this for a long time. There's new stuff that comes out. Now we had Whitney Webb on a long time ago, and she just got quoted. People were asking her like, "Who's the Epstein of today?" If that's the case, and she just goes, "They don't need it anymore." And I think I think she's right about that. They don't need it anymore because we kind of are just art. I think Epstein was there to kind of usher in the biosecurity state a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah. He's trying. He probably was playing that on the. I mean, let's be real. He had the JBL dude going. Peter Attia is like, he's like, no tortilla for me. Like, just like. But I'll say, I'll just
Peter no tortilla.
Yeah, Peter no tortilla.
I don't know. The thing that pissed me again.
No, but we don't need it though. What I mean is we don't need it anymore. We don't need what I mean is it's those things have been installed, and then again, like that ushers in a new breed of nihilism. And I'm just saying, like, it's okay to accept that the world has things that are horrible in it. Like what I'm saying is like horrible, and there's no upside to it either. There's not I'm not going to here to spin it. Well, actually, it can be used for it. No. This is objectively bad. Unfortunately, we're a little late on it on a lot of these things. And I'm not even sure there was a way to actually do it. I think some people disagree with that, but they never exactly tell me what that way was. But you just gotta fight. That's why you gotta just, like you said, turn inward. Turn inward. Maybe maybe that's what ends up happening. But
the just quickly on the Peter Attia thing. The funny thing, again, these Peter Attia, Rhonda Patrick, all these people who've been on like Rogan, early Rogan people, built big careers. Attia just got hired by CBS 60 Minutes as like their, and then of course I think fired now.
Really? I'm actually surprised, to be honest.
Well, he put well, first of all, I'm just saying, like, and again, I know I'm like Johnny One Note over here. he's this based health doctor, supposedly, ostensibly, who once again recommended the fucking COVID vax.
Yeah,
they all do it. It's so ridiculous.
I'm never gonna listen to any health advice from you.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy, dude. It's just I don't know. I'm just like, what? They all fell for that. It's so crazy. I don't know.
I will say, one thing I found funny about CBS was, not trying to open this up again because I just don't really enjoy talking about that aspect of CBS and Barry Weiss and all that. But they were running with Epstein was doing stuff for Putin.
Okay.
It's just funny. Like, you're just like, yeah, of course.
Dude.
Russia. It was all for Russia, actually. It was like this, that I just was laughing really hard at that. It was like, okay. What did I say at the beginning of this? Everybody just takes their political ideology and then takes this thing and tries to hone it like this direct energy weapon and go, here's my ideology and I'm Care Bear shooting it out. You know what I'm saying? Like and I'm always just like, dude, that's when I know it's kind of over.
And also, I'm certainly not unwilling to believe that Epstein is alive. Maybe in a certain country, maybe not.
Damn.
The death thing. I mean, the most ridiculous.
I never even thought of that.
100%, dude.
Well, I don't think they need him anymore, so I could see them snuffing him out for sure.
Of course, I could see it both ways, but there are anomalies with the there's a case to be made about a body swap in terms of and that was the most ridiculous thing, and that was the whole thing of like everyone, like the people, like, oh my gosh, why do you even care about this anymore? What people don't realize, and I was in 2015 kind of schizo, looking on, like,
that's about when I did it too.
Before, like, being like, oh my god, literally no one learning about Epstein and that whole scene, and no one was talking about it back then. No one. And I mean, obviously people were, because he caught the case.
It was just
2008 or whatever.
Yeah, it was very.
But it was 100% underground, and it certainly wasn't on the radar. And then it became kind of like a MAGA thing, a talking point, and then Pizzagate.
And then it was kind of a parapolitical left thing, and then
But I remember. So I've been there. But the thing, people are like, oh my god, why do you care anymore? What people don't realize is, like, especially people that knew about this before, when he died. And then they straight up said that he committed suicide. Everyone knew that was fake. That's the thing.
Right.
And obviously there are like retards today that still think that, and of course, it's like, he committed suicide. The cameras magically stopped working for those 5 minutes. The people on the shift, the guards, were all replaced for that hour. And then they got swapped back in.
Yeah, they whacked.
And it's like, it's so obvious. Like, everyone knows. Everyone, like, the most normie of normie knows. Like, you have to be like Peter Hotez level retard to, like, believe the official story on that. So I think it was just such a clear Rubicon moment, such a clear case of, like, where everyone knew it happened and everyone knew that it was so I think a lot of people, like, that are terminally online and know this stuff, they don't really understand the gravity of that, like, as it was happening. And
well, they just don't want it to affect the general election, which I don't think it is.
By the way, the funniest memes, like old school meme from that era, the Steven Crowder changed my mind thing. The funniest meme I ever saw during that time was, it was Steven Crowder changed my mind banner, him with the coffee cup, and it's Epstein didn't kill himself. And then the person walking up to debate him was like Hillary Clinton. It was great. It's just a classic, dude.
That's pretty good.
Just a classic.
I miss that era.
I know,
I miss that era. It's we're so divided now. Like, we're so post that now that felt like such a fun time when, like, everybody thought that was funny and now wasn't like trying to cast that off as old.
Exactly.
Like, oh, that's so this. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? That's what's fun about the internet, is things like that. And I get it. Like, it was a different time and all that. And that was when, like, Trump was president, by the way. Like, it's not even like that was like just when a Democrat was president or something. But I don't think my thing is, I still don't think this has electoral consequences in the way people think it does. Like, especially Epstein. I just don't think a lot. Now, some people might not vote. That's like, I don't think anyone's going to become a Democrat because of Epstein. I don't think any Democrats shifting right because of Epstein, for the most part. Like, it just kind of feels like one of those things where they're like, let me parse through this. Oop, don't like that guy. Well, he's implied, and then it's that, maybe there's some people that just go, you know what, I can't put my pen to paper here and do it. And certainly But that, again, most of those people knew about this shit for a long time. So it's kind of like they probably have been non-voters for a while. So I know everybody's like worried when people say just move on. They're worried about the electoral consequences. And then there's people who are using it as a TDS weapon that are like, absolutely, this has electoral consequences. I think people are going to be. And first off, Trump's not even running again. So, you know, like it's not even going to be. That's the thing. Like,
it's just interesting seeing this in live time of like politics hitting the rubber of the road where you have Vance tweeting about this in 2021 and now he's not allowed to talk about it, and it's like everyone who's not retarded knows what's going on, and it's like I don't even like blame him per se. I'm just like, okay, this is how it works, and you're not allowed to talk about this anymore. So it's like and I don't know, I'm like I'll always, you know, I'll always defend like a Massey, bro, Thomas Massey. I'm sorry, dude. It's like I know that's not cool to do anymore. He's one of the bad ones or whatever, but I'm like, I don't know. He seems slightly more principled than a lot of these guys. You don't have to agree with him.
I just don't think you have to go through life that way where it's like, oh, we don't talk about this anymore. It's like, well, you're a person on the internet, so you can actually can. And I have a feeling this conversation is going to satisfy a lot of people, but also no one at the same time. What we just had, because it's a long brewing thing that everybody. I mean, there's people, and I'm pretty sure I probably got some details wrong because I know there's people that know every aspect of what is available to everyone. I don't, but I just from afar, when you look at it, I just go, you know what, like I don't. It's like weird. It's like the most consequential, unconsequential thing in 2026
I think
right now. You know what I'm saying? Like we're in 2026. Like we're so far beyond it where you're just like, it's like kind of a truth bomb, I guess, for a lot of people. But also, you know, I also get people that are like, look, man, I still think this about the world is wrong, and that hasn't changed. And I agree too. Yeah, I agree. Like you said, like I still don't think that you should be able to just walk into this country and be poured in, especially during a tough economic time like COVID and stuff. We're just dumping in like that. People, because when you argue with them, they go, well, you're just supporting the Epstein guy when that happens. I go, okay, it's done. We've jumped the shark. Like it's just the political discourse is done. It kind of is done. You and I can talk about it because we like each other. But for the most part, when you talk about politics with random people now, you're just like, wow. Wow. I can't, even people I kind of agree with. I'm like, no, actually not.
Yeah. Great
and
point.
There's always people that like to detach. I don't think they actually do. They pretend they do, but they don't. Yeah. Like they still kind of like follow everything, but they just detach in a sense when it's something they don't want to address. Yeah. And it's kind of like, wait, if you truly are one of these people that's above it all, be above it all. Don't be one of those people that's like, don't talk about that. Don't talk about, I'm above it all. Don't talk about that. Yeah. Like that's the weird spot to be in. That's actually not above it all. That's very in it. That's in the trenches. And it kind of sucks being that way.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I don't know. Anything else? You got anything else on that? I don't really.
I don't know. I don't know what's gonna. Again, I do think people are like fall guys. Like there's
for sure.
Like Peter Attia, who I think was kind of shown to be for sure an awful person. Maybe like a legit psychopath. Who knows? You know, or at least someone who has very, very troubled and very weird priorities. Again, we all make mistakes. But someone like him, who I don't think I would bet is like not the best person based on this news and stuff, and clearly doesn't have a good barometer inside himself. Also, I'd be willing to bet that he didn't abuse kids too. Like I'd be willing to bet that. Yeah. And meanwhile, there are people that probably for sure did abuse kids, and they're going to get off scot-free. And so this whole thing is kind of kicking the can down the road. There's never going to be anything.
I just think I think the new, like the anticipation of like a new thing coming out is like what people look forward to about it. It's just like people are always like, when is the Nuremberg trial? I'm like,
it's like a sneaker.
When people say when's the Nuremberg trial, I'm like, let's do COVID. Let's do COVID. Yeah. And I even then, did you see how that came out? Well, let's do COVID. I know it's not. That's the sad part. So it's just kind of like at the end of the day, like you do have to eventually look at what's in front of you and try your best. You know, you're gonna have to do your best to say no to certain things, like say no to whatever. If they try another pandemic, you have to like be ready for that. It's like when you go back to like 2016, it's like, okay, that's a dog year in 3 years, ago. And I'm not saying that's forever ago. I just mean it kind of is. And I think it's the reason we're hearing about it now is because it's something else is happening. And I'm not even saying, I don't even know if you have to follow that. I just mean at the end of the day, just kind of you have to work on yourself. It's
also, and I just also think in terms of like protecting younger kids and teenagers and stuff, we have to, and I get that you can't do this across the board because there are just things as bad, negligent parents, even parents that are wealthy can be negligent and also poor and stuff like that. But
they straight up sell their kids sometimes. That's really fucking sad.
It is. And we have to do, but that being said, we have to do something to where we just kind of, I don't know, where we talked about this in a previous episode where I did at least, where we got to kind of teach kids to avoid this stuff. It's almost weird, like never talking about this stuff and being all like completely just like letting kids just completely out in the wild to figure this out on their own can lead to these poor results, ironically. So we kind of need to find a way to, I don't know how it is, well,
I'll tell you right now, giving kids mass autism definitely doesn't protect them from this, dude. That's all I'm saying, like because you hear about this a lot. Like there was a
and I'm not even talking, it's almost like a self-esteem thing. Like we need to it's almost like I don't know that I'm not even trying to be like a therapy lib about it or anything. Like there's something. Something to where there are kids that are raised in ways to where they would never even attract a situation like this. You know what I mean? And like we need to model that for everyone. And I don't know how that. Obviously, we can never be perfect.
I mean, there's a dark history about parents just straight selling their kids when they're like,
especially
drug
in
addicts.
Like the 70s and shit.
It's really, just straight selling when they had like 8 of them. They're like, that one's fine if you want. No, I'm serious. Like even the R. Kelly stuff. Like you look at the R. Kelly thing, you're like, wait, how did he get these kids? And they're like, oh, you like bought them.
And that's the weird thing. That's the weird thing
from like a crackhead parent, like and you're just like, damn it, like at the end of the day, it's still the person's fault that's doing all of this.
Exactly.
Like you sold your child.
Exactly, and that's the weird thing about the Epstein, like the catalog model, like it's like a Sky Mall magazine or something where you're like, oh, this, it's very. That's the creepy thing where it's like, obviously, like I mentioned this earlier. That's if you're like a social studies chick teacher and you like have a statutory thing with one of your like 13-year-old students, like you're a fucking retarded person, but also you didn't like pick them out of a catalog. I don't know if that's better or worse. You know what I mean? Or pick.
No, it's bad. I mean, there's levels to it. There's like boutique versions of it. There's there's all of it. Also, I will say the Elon emails, which I also
I forgot we didn't bring that up. Dude.
Not even sure those are real either, but.
What's his play? Because he seems to be like charging ahead, even though he's like requesting to go to the. I don't know. Who knows, dude? Who knows? It's crazy.
So I do think some of these might have been authored by a certain hand, and like I said, these guys probably are instructed by all of their legal team to be like, don't fucking say anything, because even if there might be a shred of truth of it, I don't know if the emails are real.
That's probably why no one ever wanted to release them. Honestly, it's just because it's like
a fucking legal nightmare, dude. Yeah, like I mean, and no, it is. Like I mean, like you think about like somebody finding a joke you said that's bad, like, and like something like, and just like firing you from your job. Like it's like this is that times a million. I'm not even making excuses for these people, but if somebody is innocent,
just objectively so,
it's just kind of like this thing, and it's like I don't feel sorry for these people. I don't like this shit. Like this is bad, but it's just kind of like okay. There is not like this is one of the most unsatisfying things you'll ever see is this whole like Epstein thing. Like I remember when he like was supposed to go to trial and then like of course he committed suicide in prison, of course. Like I just remember it was just like of course that happened. You know what I'm saying? Like and it was just kind of like okay. And I'm not going to tell people how to raise their kids, but right now it's like we have like access. Maybe this is part of that whole biosecurity kind of thing. Like you have like access to like everything your kid does right now, so like maybe I don't know what the numbers are in terms of that versus child trafficking. Has that gone down? Has that gone on? Is there a stat, abductions and things like that? I don't know, but there is a way like I just, man, Howard, are people selling their fucking kids? I just hope people are not selling their fucking kids.
Yeah, and like, well, it's funny. Everyone makes fun of the Zoomers for like not having sex or drinking alcohol or whatever. Maybe they're kind of weirdly subconsciously, like hip to, you know, like you remember when we were kids and it was like chat room, like Eric Cartman with like Nambla in the chat room, where it's like, you know, like I'm looking for an older man to do, you know, like maybe Zoomers have it in their consciousness to where they're like, not saying it never happens, but like where they're just like, oh, I'm not.
I think they're just jerking off.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I think they're just jerking off and not talking.
By the way, we watched the gay hockey show.
Okay, I'm glad you
Heated rivalry.
Okay. I'm very glad that you did that. Watch the Michelin documentary. That's actually good.
You gonna watch
it? Really? I have to watch this?
It's pretty bad, dude. It's pretty fucking
I know it doesn't. That's my thing. It doesn't look good. Like I saw the trailer for. I'm like, okay, that just looks like bad TV, regardless of what's happening. And it's funny that they did that for NHL, because NHL there's like the most amount of guys to go like, I'm not wearing the Pride jersey.
And what's funny, they don't even. It's MLH. They changed it to MLH. Oh, and by the way, it's so the Russian guy is. So the Canadian guy is on Montreal, and they changed the team name. So it's Montreal Metros, and it's the Boston
Metrosexuals. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. And it's the Boston, instead of the Bruins, it's the Boston
Cream Pies. I don't know.
Boston, guess. A couple guesses. It's important.
Beans.
Raiders.
Get the fuck out
of here.
Boston Raiders. I'm not watching this shit, dude. It's the Boston Raiders, dude. I swear to fucking God. Though, first off, my team's not affiliated with Boston, and it's just not. Yeah, not happening. Raiders, dude. You got to watch it, because I mean, I'm going to talk about it regardless. I'm going to talk about it regardless. Yeah, it's just like a doc.
We need to scam another free trials from Apple, which we can do, so we will do that.
Yeah, and Apple's really cheap too. Apple's like the cheapest of the TV.
Well, what we do, so we just, if you have a new iPhone, they just give you like 3 months free.
Yeah, that's how it is with my autism cable Spectrum. Spectrum. They're like, do you want Disney Plus? You can watch Trains. And never leave the house and never have sex because you're scared of Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. But there's like these that's
Boston Raiders, dude. I haven't told you that yet.
I wish you didn't. That sounds terrible. That'll be. We'll talk about. I'm going to talk about the Michelin the Star thing, because I think even if you don't watch it,
I'll watch it. I'm watching it.
I mean, there's a lot of episodes. There's like 8 episodes, but like it's just it goes around the world. It goes around the world. Like in Ireland,
what's it called? Apple TV Michelin,
like Knives. It's called Knife Edge, but if you were to just do Michelin Apple documentary, it's Gordon Ramsay's the executive producer of it. He's not in it. Does not show up in it at all.
Damn it!
But which is good, because it's like, but like it's all about how, and I'm going to talk about this on there, but it's all about like the fine dining thing, and it's all about how these restaurants like don't make any fucking money at all, and like the only time they're going to make money is if they get a Michelin star. And the way the Michelin process works is it's very anonymous, but it's always a solo diner, right? Yeah. So every time they're like, at our fucking daffodil restaurant where we take daffodils and put pork in them, this is and then you can pour steam over it. There's a solo diner, and everyone's like, we have to do our jobs, solo diner. And it's like, we charge $500 a fucking for 16-course meal. Now we have to do our jobs because there's a solo diner. Otherwise, I'm losing $100,000 a month.
Yeah, like, we should do a thing. Well, it's funny you bring that. We should do a series where you and I split up and go to solo Michelin restaurants solo. To like get so we pretend to be like, this wine is a little, this fork clean, and then they just get shit. I'm
gonna do it at like Burger King. Yeah. I'm gonna go. Solo diner.
Did you see
solo diner? I'll take a Whopper. Solo diner. Solo. I'm a solo diner.
She's like, yes. Okay.
Solo. Solo diner. Number 7. Your order correct on the screen.
Chicken. It is. Did you watch that movie Bradley Cooper, Burnt?
No, I think my wife did.
You should watch it. You watch that, and I'll watch this, and we'll do it, because it's about. But their thing, they do it. It's pretty good. It's a serviceable movie. It's not bad at all. But he, he's just like an ex-addict Michelin guy, and like Marco Pierre White type bro, and but he what they say in that movie is like the Michelin diners, they always come in a pair, and they order this tier bottle of wine, and they always drop a fork to see. So they have their own criteria. And I won't spoil it for you. Yeah, we'll talk about it later. But so there's that'll be on the premium feed this week, rarecandysubstack.com. Charles Dickens episode almost ready there. I'm almost done with the book. Very, very long.
but very, very good. That's coming up. And then Roberto Bolaño's 2666 in March. Probably be doing that. And then I'll be on Brad Kelly's podcast, Method and Madness, talking about Mumbo Jumbo by Ishmael Reed, which I'm really excited about. So, yeah, just guys, make sure you're on the lookout for all that stuff. And everybody have a safe week. And we'll catch you guys next time.